Hello, people of Genovia. Welcome to another episode of RAM. What's RAM? It's RoRo after midnight, nightly at 1 a.m. Central, 2 a.m. Eastern, and 11 p.m. Pacific, the night before, of course. And you can always follow me on Instagram and Twitter at RoRo the Tenor. As you can see down there, there is a ticker. It's called a ticker. Just follow me and okay. Anyway, now we start the show. Actually, before I start everything, I'd like to thank Cheryl Darrow for being my very first guest last night or earlier this morning. Actually, yeah, yesterday. And she was a great first guest. And I've learned a lot from last night's interview. And also, my husband gave me notes about yesterday, about things that I should be working on, and I'm going to read it to you right now. Okay, it says, make sure that you give make sure that you give your guests enough time to answer questions. Make sure that you let them talk, so that you're not always talking. Fine. And make sure that you are not, number two, make sure that both of you are not talking always at the same time because of the fade in and out of voices. And third one is make sure that, there's only two things. So I got notes from my husband and it's gone. Anyway, so we are going to start. Oh, by the way, I just finished my birthday because right now here in Chicago, it's already 1:02. So my birthday is done and Thanksgiving is done. So I'd like to thank everyone for sending me their birthday greetings over the over Messenger, over as comments on my posts. And thank you very much for all those greetings and also texts. And it's really nice. It's really, it's like very humbling to see all your greetings. Okay? So now to begin the show, I always like to begin the show with something fun, like, how to do stuff or, maybe a joke or two. So, we're going to start of course, we are going to start with the joke of the day. Are you ready, guys? The joke of the day is, what do you call a little French gay man? What do you call a little French gay man? And the answer is, it's called a faggot. Yay! It's so funny. It's so funny. No, really, it's funny. I am crying inside. All right. So anyway, that's the joke of the day. And another section we have now is, it's a new thing now. We now have, let's see here, I call it the 4 laundry folding hacks. So, when you fold laundry and there are certain things that you fold that every time you fold, it unfolds, or when you drop something that's already folded, it unfolds. So I'm going to show you something now where it's actually going to tell you exactly how to fold 4 certain things, okay? So bear with me because, I'm still new at this stuff. So I will walk you through that. of the four laundry folding hacks of the day. Okay, I need to put myself back now. Okay, camera on. Yay! That was 6 minutes. Perfect, perfect. Oh, hey. Hi, Christina. Keep watching. Anyway, so now I would like to bring to you my second guest of this season. First of all, I have this person I went to college with in Santa Monica College in Santa Monica, California. And we happen to have the same birthday, although I am a year older than he is. And I am so excited to have him over because have him here because I haven't talked to him in forever, and it's a lot of reminiscing is going to happen. And I'd like to now bring to you Mr. Anthony Gomez. Yes!
Hey, RoRo.
Yes!
Happy birthday. Happy
Thank
birthday.
you. I know. We're birthday twins, right? Birthday twins. Yes, we're birthday twins. So, yeah, before I continue, Anthony, this is Anthony. If you want to follow Anthony, Anthony's Instagram is Anthony Kent at Anthony Kent Gomez on Instagram, and he's still working on his Twitter. Okay.
Still on it. Still working on it. Yes.
I know, but it's like Twitter came before Instagram.
Really? I didn't know the timeline.
I think it was Twitter and then Instagram because Twitter was all about text and then Instagram was all about photos. So it's always text and then photo, text and then photo. It's kind of like when Friendster, remember Friendster?
Friendster. That is back in the day.
I know. And then, Friendster and Napster.
MySpace as well, isn't it? Or something like that?
It's Friendster and it's Friendster and then MySpace and then Friendster. Friendster, MySpace, and then Facebook. I think that
okay.
Yes. So anyway, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
When was the last time we saw each other?
I want to say it had to have been either 2008 or 9 at Summer's apartment during the holidays.
Yes,
Lauren was there.
Yeah, and for people who do not know you yet, or at least so a lot of people, of course, know you from my group of friends. If people do not, or in case people don't remember, RoRo After Midnight is about me talking to my circle of friends specifically, and then about their lives, keeping in touch with them. So tell us more about yourself, like at least a background of what you do and stuff like that.
Well, from the beginning, I guess. I'm a Santa Monica person. For the most part, I did most of my schooling here, with the exception of maybe 5 years of Catholic school. I honestly thought my next logical step was just to go to SMC like my dad, so I went there. I was there in '94. I only was doing opera and classical vocal performance at the time. I wasn't auditioning for the mentor program or anything like that. I was still kind of figuring out stuff. And then I poured myself into opera theater, the opera workshop with Sue Ann Pinner in '94. That was like my first experience to opera. It was a huge eye-opener. 17 years old singing Marcello was it was a little shocking for me in scenes, only in scenes. The whole opera not yet. But she trusted me, and it was an opportunity to get a chance to sing Puccini for the first time. It was an experience, like most things with Sue Ann Pinner's workshops.
It was nice because you always had this nice, warm, deep. What is that? It's warm. It's a warm baritone sound. You are a baritone, right? I mean, we know that. I mean, you have those nice, rich tones, but you're a baritone, and it was nice because it was easy to listen to. It's not irritating or like too brassy. So it was very, very romantic sounding. So anyway, continue.
Thank you. I did opera for a short while there, for a few semesters. I did one full production off campus with one of our classmates, Claire McKeown.
Yes.
it was a Korean opera company at the time. It was called LA Hanmi Opera Company. I believe it translates to diversified. And we did La Traviata. Again, we were like 17, 18-year-olds doing Verdi. It was to be in that course specifically was a great experience, especially an introduction to Verdi, just that showstopper of an opera.
That's nice. That's awesome. Well, when I met you guys, well, I couldn't remember who I met first, if it were you or Tina and Claire, but I think some people already know like how I started. I didn't really start as an opera singer. I mean, I was an accounting major when I went to Santa Monica College,
Oh, I
and then,
didn't know that.
huh?
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So the reason why I bumped into the music department was I decided, you know what, I'm going to drop a geometry class, which is all the way from the other side of the campus where what is that? The dance buildings were. So
Mhm.
all the way across. And then I kept walking through to the college, and I saw a room and people were singing. And that's when I started, oh, there's voice class. I didn't know that was possible. And eventually I got drafted to the opera workshop. Were you in that opera workshop with me? I was like, when I started, we were, I was singing in the chorus, and when opera workshop had, what is that? Highlights of operas where
The
we
sing-
sang the
mhm.
drinking song from Traviata and some Rigoletto, that kind of thing. And I think I met you there. It's so hard to say because we've we've always seen each other, and it's hard to pinpoint. It's like, did we share a class on that one? Did we share a voice class? I know we shared a class with Sue Ann Pinner's voice class. I know that because everyone in her opera workshop is in the voice class. It's like it has to be required. You want to be part of the club, you have to do your dues in the voice class. So
Yes.
that's how we really met. And anyway, so we did meet there, and we've known each other since. This is my guess. We've known each other since 1997.
Okay.
That's is
It
that
is. And
is
yeah,
that 23 years ago?
I want to
20
say
years
it
ago.
is.
Wow, we've known each other for 23 years ago, and we've both worked together in opera workshop and the musical theater workshop. Um, did you ever do so in Santa Monica College? How musical theater workshop is back in the day is there's a lot of students who enroll, and we do solos. We work on
Hmm.
solos, we work on duets, and we work on ensembles. But one of the rules they have is only one male person gets a solo and only one female person gets a solo.
Yes.
How did you experience that? And how was your experience?
Well, I was lucky, I guess, because I was there for a long time. I got a chance to be a part of four musical theater workshops. And if I remember correctly, in order, it was Frank and Janie, Pervis and Janie, and Taryn and Janie. Oh wait, Taryn and Frank, Pervis and Frank. What was I talking? Yeah, it was Frank the entire time, and of course, Maestro Gary was our accompanist. Wonderful man, I love him, and it differed from. For the most part, yes, it followed that format of one male soloist and one female soloist, and then there was the group numbers. But I did notice that one particular musical theater workshop was so group heavy that most of us didn't get a chance to work with each other. I want to say it was the semester with Cheryl Darrow, and it
Oh,
was. I want to show you this first. This is unintentional. I don't know how this got into my possession. I'm bringing it up because
oh my God, yes.
we worked on the, if you remember the number in Candide, I think it was called the Venice Gavotte.
Yeah. You
Just
were wait, we did that.
And this belongs to you, my friend. I need, along with a Christmas card, I want to send it back to its rightful owner.
Oh my God. That's a VHS.
Yes, do you still have your VCR like me?
No. No, we have a VCR, and it's just one of those like, oh my God, it's so old, and we are so afraid. We have some old porn videos, and it's like, oh my God, if we put it there, we won't be able to watch it again.
Yeah, definitely.
I was like, you know what? We're gonna go to a place and have it converted to DVD, that kind of thing. But oh my God, that's the right. I mean, it's one of those moments.
Yes, honey.
So no, so anyway, so for those who wants to get a little background of what we were talking about, so in musical theater workshop, during our time, there's only one musical director, and that was Frank. But there were 3 to 4 different stage directors, or the non, what do you call that? It was like one is the music director and the other one is a director.
Exactly. One focused on staging, and the other, like Frank, he would help you with your phrasing, or if you're
Anything
top.
music.
Mhm.
Exactly. So Frank concentrated on musical, while the other 3 or 4, depending on the semesters, there were a group of them that concentrated on staging and presence and how and acting and everything, and it was a good mix. And fortunately, I did the musical theater workshop twice in full, where I I was so lucky because I was able to get both solos, which I think was not fair, but at the same
Mhm.
time was like, I'm not a musical theater thing. So yeah.
But the thing about both of us is we were both crossovers, and we made it work. We made it work really well. Where would we be without Leonard Bernstein or anybody else who wrote for the classical musical theater performer? I
It
mean,
was yeah, it was interesting because the first solo I did was We Joy from Miss Saigon, and then the next one I was already, starting to sing classically, but then it has to be in English. So I went with Lonely House by Kurt Weill,
yeah,
great scene. But it was the hardest thing I ever had to do, and got coached on that, and it was a good experience. Now let's talk about opera workshop, because that's when I'm gonna bring it up, because the only production we actually did in opera workshop, because this is the only production I actually did, was Dialogues of the Carmelites.
Carmelites.
Yeah.
Yes.
For me, it was later on I realized it was extremely too ambitious for Santa Monica College to do it. However, our the director during that time was like into angels and nuns, not angels and demons, angels and nuns. But she made it, and the good thing, one of the good things, that even though it was too ambitious, one of the good things that I liked about what happened was we were exposed to really difficult music. It was in English, and it was set Dialogues of the Carmelites set. We did it at a church.
Do you remember that? Yes, that was at my mother's parish, St. Monica's.
Mhm.
Um, I I want to say that I was thinking a lot of the same things that you were thinking, and it was unique because there were multiple voice teachers in there. Like you remember, like Elizabeth Waters,
Oh, yes,
uh,
they were in the
Gail,
yeah.
Gail Gordon, and I went to her. I went to Gail, and she just pretty much straightforward told me, it's like, Anthony, Wagner's much more easier than this stuff. And I just looked at her, I was like, really?
Mhm.
I didn't realize it until I got to Circle in the Square. And when I had to take a script analysis class with an opera director who teaches full time at Juilliard, I told him that I did the jailer from Carmelites, and this man doesn't say anything. He's very light on the compliments, but he looked over at me. It's like, Anthony, you did the jailer. That's a hard song.
It
I just
is.
like,
I have covered here in Lyric when I was still an apprentice. I covered the priest in
that's
Dialogues
beautiful.
of the Carmelites, and I'm telling you, the jailer is one of the hardest roles in the opera. I mean, even though it's like you, it's funny. It's in English, but you pronounce their names French. It's awesome. And it was cool because, yeah, when we did it here in Chicago, that piece was like, oh my God, it is a tongue twister. I hope they do not make a mistake. It is a very specific role, and it's very exposed, and people will know if you mess up. And that's what
Yeah.
great job. And I think you did a really really good job. Let me see in terms of like opera. I know we were going to talk about certain things about opera. Oh yes, tell us about when we were both in the mentor program. We actually studied with the same teacher. Tell us about
We
that.
we did. William Bone. Um, I I knew him when I was 14 and I was still in high school. I started taking voice lessons with him when I was a freshman in high school, and he basically showed me Schumann, Robert Franz, a whole slew of old English composers, and he really showed me the ropes as far as repertoire from centuries ago and stuff that's suitable for a recital. And he taught me phrasing. He taught me where to take breaths, and um, I went. I was with him for the duration of opera crossing over into musical theater, and he never said anything. He was always supportive of me singing in Three Penny Opera, Sondheim's Passion. He's like, okay, let's dissect it and let's do some phrasing. And he was never like,
How about the repertoire that he assigned you? How did you feel about that? Was it in the same? Was it in the same vocal category that you thought you sing in?
I thought so. I thought so, especially since most of my high school years it was all tenor, tenor one, tenor two. And then I did, nobody knows this, but I did a high school program at Oberlin for like 1 week in one summer at the conservatory.
Wow.
And the the guy there, he said, "You're a baritone. You have the tessitura of a baritone." And I believed him. And I came back to Santa Monica. It's like, okay, I guess I have to look at Papageno now.
Oh
So
yes, which you
I
did, right? You did that duet.
I did the two different Papagenas. I think there was like triple casts in the love duets.
Yes, I know, I know. It's amazing,
I
amazing.
loved your monostatos, by the way. I need to tell you that right away. There's multiple things that I've seen on social media that I've seen you do, bits and pieces. Like, oh, good, he did monostatos. That's an ideal character for him.
Mhm.
And of course, what you did in the Met, that was, I want to go back to that over and over again. Just the production quality of De Rosenkavalier. Your scenes, especially, it had this wonderful fluidity. It was gorgeous.
You know, one of the things I noticed when I saw myself, I thought I was like, "Oh, I'm doing a good job as an actor." And then I saw myself in the broadcast of Rose and Cavalier. Then I realized, that because the camera still pans when you're not, even though I was in character, I didn't know. Oh shoot, I still have to be even more in character. But I knew what I needed to keep. Kind of like, you know that you're when you're in character, but then you're really engaged when you're not doing anything. That's one of the things I noticed, and it got better and better. And that's what I've always been teaching people. I tell people, you get tired more not singing while you're on stage than you are when you're singing, because at least when you're singing, you're exerting energy. When you're not singing, you're keeping everything in. Then you're like, by the time you get off stage, it's like, oh my god, that was tiring. So anyway, thank you so much. I was gonna let's see. So you moved to New York. You say you moved to New York in 2001, really?
I did. It was Lauren and I and Mark and myself. We moved to this apartment in Brooklyn, far, far, far away from what was about to be the tragedy of 9/11. It happened like right
You guys were
at,
there.
yeah, we had moved into our apartment and it all happened so quickly. And honestly, we were all so young and we were like processing this and thinking at the same time, we have to go to theater school next week. So, and we went through with it and it was great. It was a good experience.
Yeah. So how was your experience there in in while living in New York? You know, in the theater, like in the theater scene in at least a big city. Was that the first time you were in New York?
I had visited two other times actually. One was just to see like a couple shows with in the late '90s, probably right around you know when it was? It was the semester they did Jesus Christ Superstar at SMC. That's when I went for the first time. And then
Oh yes.
you remember? No, I auditioned. I was so not right for that show at all. I walked in there thinking, yeah, I'm King Herod. I'm King Herod. And then all of these phenomenal pop voices showed up. And I knew right away, I am not King Herod.
I
So,
when I the same show I auditioned and I got what is that? I got called back for Anas and Simon. No,
yeah,
the the one that sings in the beginning. I think is his name Simon something. Um, and I
Judas.
didn't go. I didn't go to the callback because I really wanted Judas, but I didn't know how hard Judas was.
It's a
It's
role.
it's a good thing I did not go. And
Hmm.
and during that time, for like 2 to 3 months, I dated really the one who played Mary Magdalene.
I
Lisa,
remember her. She had
yeah,
a lovely time, a lovely sound.
she was a soprano, but then she was belting, and then I remember, yeah. So that was the time, and it was really good. I mean, it was a really good time. Yeah, during that time, that we were there. I mean, we had so much fun just being being in the workshop. We were one of the few who actually did both workshops. So
We did, gosh.
we had a balance of like musical theater and opera at the same time. So if we want to just sing most of the time, that's fine. If we want to now, I want to show some stuff here that you do not know. Like yesterday, I showed Cheryl stuff before. So first of all, tell us about this.
Oh, he's got the pictures. Those. Oh, wow. This is kind of a full circle because you wanted me to talk about Circle in the Square. This was the first series of headshots that I did. Um, in my second year, the end, like February of my second year at Circle in the Square, because it was kind of mandatory. We were about to go out and be professionals. And I got this wonderful photographer, Nick Granito, I believe his name was. And he had done photos for some of my teachers back in the 70s, so he was seasoned. And this was seconds before all of the headshots had gone color. And I can't remember how
It's
young. I
it's
think I
funny
was.
how you have these three, like you have these three different kind of, it's like, oh, I have almost a full beard on, and a goatee, and clean shaven. By the way, the first one right there
Hmm.
looks very similar to one of the Dancing with the Stars professionals, the one whose partner is Sky.
I think I know what you're talking. Does he have somewhat of a gravelly voice?
Yes, yes,
I
and
know who you're.
so,
Hmm.
so anyway, so that's here's the second one. You have to explain to me what this is about, okay?
Okay. Oh my, that is, believe it or not, that is a Halloween party that happened in the late '90s at none other than the home of Miss Andrea Ferraz. I want to. I want to get her.
Andreas?
Yeah, that was a party at her house in Sherman Oaks. Pictured to my right, who's giving us full profile, is another New Yorker that I know, but he went to SMC as well, Mr. Dev Johnson. Next to him is another actor from SMC Theater who went on to CSUN, if I'm not mistaken, Christian Catalan. Wonderful guys, and I looks like I have a very nice cigarette in my hand, and I think I was
Is that really cigarette? It looks like pot.
that particular one. Who knows what it is? But
I know. So that was cool. That was cool. Now this is another one, and this one is like for me, self gratifying for me.
oh yes,
By the way,
oh
Anthony is actually in the very right after the last girl. That's Anthony. So I always forget your character in this show. Tell us about what this show is. What's going on?
okay. This is Anything Goes. This is Cole Porter's set in the 30s, I believe. My character was Lord Evelyn Oakley. Yes, the
Glenn
Mexican.
Oakley.
Yes, the Mexican is playing a British man. Yes, and it was convincing too. I loved it. He was betrothed to Haven Burton's character, who was Hope. I can't remember Hope's last name at the moment.
Hardcore.
Harcourt, yes, and
Yeah.
Mother Harcourt was right behind the ladies right there, Maeve O'Neill. and yeah, that's supposed to be my mother-in-law. And if I'm not mistaken, behind Kirsten Zotovich, I think her name was.
Oh my
That's
God, how do you know that name?
for some reason I could always remember her, like Kirsten Zotovich, if I'm not mistaken, spelled with a Z. And she was a phenomenal tapper. I remember that much. Like you, I was so impressed that you were doing triple threat on top of being our dance captain. That was
I,
phenomenal.
that's another story right there. But so, here it goes. Like let's see here. So this is another picture from the show.
Yes, yes, yes,
This is
definitely.
so people who let me see so that they could see you so there you go. If you move part there you go. So if right there is Haven
Hmm.
Burton, who is now very successful also in Broadway right now. She
Yes,
Legally Blonde, and she was in the national touring of Shrek. And in the middle, of course, is Anthony, and then to our as a viewer, our right is Maeve, whose birthday is coming up in December because I just talked to Lauren. But yeah, we want
I
to
miss
show
those
like, oh
girls.
my God, we're gonna show this like. See that? Lauren says, love this.
Oh, hi, lady. Oh my gosh, I miss you. If
I
she's
know,
on your
Lauren.
show, you have to
I
get her to.
No,
She
she
plays.
is gonna be in the show on the 17th, I think, of December. So anyway, so we're gonna watch. We're gonna show one more, and this is a collage. Look at this collage. I saw this on here. We got tagged on this one. So on the top is me and Shalise.
Shalice Tipsy, yes.
But we want to make sure that where Anthony is. Anthony is on the second line on the right. Right.
Yes, next. Shalice is
This
in
is
this.
Shalice's, yeah, picture.
Hmm. Oh, that's right. Oh, and it's a program. It's an SMC program for the background.
Yes. Oh, is that Lauren?
Body beware. Yes, it is.
Is that, yeah,
I- In the
that's Lauren
blonde wig.
right with the blonde hair. Is
Yes,
that the Buddy
definitely.
Beware moment? Oh my God. I can't wait until Lauren actually becomes a guest later in December. Yes.
If I want to be like the really good anything goes student, I'm trying to picture what costume and what scene that dress is. Like I could easily tell on the bottom that's Shalice's dress for the wedding, and the blonde wig and that particular dress. I wonder if it is the Buddy Beware. I'm all geeking out over it
It is.
now.
Oh my God. See the comment? Lauren says, it is. Yay! You got it. What? Okay, so the one with on the top with me and Shalise, I don't know the words. Da, 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 to see you, whatever that song is. You remember that one time when everyone's going to the ship?
That was
I
a wonderful introduction to the show, though, because it's like a whole scene, and you're saying goodbye, and I loved it.
exactly that was amazing. I think I have like two more or one more, like 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh no, this one I do not know. So you tell me what this is all about.
This, oh my gosh, this I was asked to be a part of the Gypsy of the Year. I'm not sure if that's what it's called any longer, but this is within the Broadway community for seasoned ensemble members who have done work season after season after season, and it's this whole ceremony. And we started the show, and this particular picture happens to be celebrating Carol Channing and her 90th birthday, and
Wow,
this particular theater is where they were putting up Mary Poppins at the time on 42nd Street. And
amazing.
that is, we had a whole, they created this wonderful number for us and everything. And then it somehow modulated into like her signature role, Dolly from Hello Dolly. And we were technically the backstage chorus, so we were just off to her right as we
So
were
when was
singing.
this exactly? Which year? Were you still in school for this?
No, I had been out of school by I think by a good 7 years at this point.
Wow.
It was
You look so young, and this one's like, it has to be still in school, but no.
thank you. Oh my gosh, yeah. And those guys, some of them are still. Actually, I don't think most of them are living in New York. I communicate with them every so often. They're wonderful guys, and it was a great
Awesome.
experience.
awesome. Yeah, that's great. Let's see what else we have here. So, uh, who do you? Yeah, we talk about your various jobs because I
Yeah.
went to your Facebook and I'm thinking, oh my God. So what was the timeline of when you were doing all these different jobs? And it's like as we know, it's like that's how artists are. We have to keep ourselves busy. And we're both unions. We're I think a lot of us, a lot of our colleagues too, is like who are still performing. We're all unions. So tell us about that, about your experience, with all
It's
these, doing all these different things.
Oh yeah, it was definitely not planned. It was something that kind of happened, especially when I was in New York. Any actor, any struggling actor knows that we all have to take on survival jobs. While I was there, I did pretty much everything for fundraising, telemarketing. Uh, the bulk of it was service. I was working in catering like almost 8 years while I was trying to do gigs, singing at church and stuff like that. And I did that for a long while. What else? Um,
Yeah,
Working with a retired Mhm.
when you came back
No,
to, no, finish what you were saying, and then let me know what you did when you went back to California, and then after that.
sure, definitely. I moved back in 2014 of October. Um, it took me a while to get a job, actually. I was pretty much back here thinking, oh, okay, well, maybe I should take some time off. And then I got to a point to where I needed a job. And this neck of the woods, there's a lot of cannabis dispensaries. So I worked at a few.
Oh,
Um, Honestly, had I not had that experience at these various dispensaries in Venice, specifically the Rose Collective and Green Goddess Collective, I wouldn't know much about CBD, CBG, CBN, various forms of
oh my God, I
THC.
thought CBD was it. So there's even more. Oh my God, Lauren, got to introduce me to these things.
Like it's really at this point, it's turning into like a very medicinal. Like for example, THCV is sought after diabetics. It's supposed to help them in their inflammation. There's a whole like diploma degree. You can get an education.
Wow,
Hmm.
that's
But
awesome.
I miss the stage though. I miss working on the
I know.
stage. I miss singing. I miss.
It'll be nice. Like one of the things I wanted to do was, when I every time I come home, I always do this reunion with the opera people, that I know, and I didn't know when you moved to back to California, but I've experienced going there and then getting together with Meredith, with Claire, with Tina, with Gabe, with Andrea, with Kevin McKeown as well, and
Yeah.
so we've gone to dinners because during that time it's like, well, I don't know where the other ones are, try to get a hold of them. But now I know, at least when all of this is lifted, we'll be able to like, do some. Yeah, I know. Well, let me see. What else have we not have we not covered yet? Oh yeah, before I forget, because I forgot to ask. By the way, yesterday Cheryl did tell me I have to ask everyone what their binge worthy show is. And what she said, hers was, because I forgot to ask it during the show, hers was The Queen's Gambit, which I do not. Are you watching it right now?
Not yet, but it's on my list, and I'm not a chess person. Speaking of chess, I want to make a connection to Cheryl Darrow really quickly. I remember her in musical theater workshop. She was showing us all her audition book, and then she flipped to another page. I was impressed by this. I don't know about anyone else, but she had a production photo, a recent production photo of her in chess, and I was like, oh, "You're in chess." That's it. But this particular show I haven't seen yet, but I want to.
So, what is your binge? Well, let me put it here, so at least I could like
So,
is your binge worthy show?
uh,
Like, pick
most
one.
most recently, mainly because I didn't get into it right away, but The Crown on Netflix. Um,
Mhm.
just as the American who doesn't come from that kind of background. It's interesting. It's interesting to see, but reading more stuff about it, knowing what actually is fiction and what isn't fiction, that's fascinating to me.
So where are you getting these the differences? What sources are you getting or resources?
I'm hoping most of them are reliable, but on YouTube, most a couple of them I think are from directly from the UK. Um, like little things that they analyze, like Princess Diana and Charles, that actual time that they met instead of what they showed the viewer on,
Oh,
this season of The Crown. That was interesting. Apparently, they had known each other a long time, like before, like a good 13 times before they actually got serious. So,
oh.
little things like that.
So yeah. So what is that? There's a follow up question. So you mentioned chess. Lauren has a question right here.
I will never forget the mountain duet. I did the mountain duet my second year in musical theater workshop at Circle in the Square. Actually, they called it musical theater scene study,
Oh,
and I loved doing that duet and harmonizing with Lauren. It's unlike anything. It's like
God.
you talked
It's
about
like
belt.
so good at harmonizing. It's amazing.
Yeah, definitely. It's like if you want to equate it to something, I'll equate it to something that you mentioned yesterday. It has a precision of bel canto, precision, when you're harmonizing with somebody who knows, who has a great sense of pitch. It's like I miss that. I miss singing with you. I miss singing with Lauren. I miss just singing with really good artists. And yes, that mountain duet was a tour de force, and I really, really enjoyed showcasing that with her in class.
That's awesome. I mean, it's like, yeah, one of these days we're gonna have wait, I got together with Lauren a lot when I was in New York, both times when I was in, during the last season, because I was there for two what is that? Two portion of time, the very beginning. So I actually hung out with her a lot, and then the second time I lived with her, and then I told her it's like, hopefully, if I come back, because right now I'm just gonna say I will come back. Hopefully, I have a contract in. Oh, it's already out, by the way. I'm coming back to New York in November, rehearsing again, and in December and January, where I'm doing the same role I did, which is Monostatos in the Julie Taymor production, the 90-minute version in English, and hopefully Lauren's Place will still be available. And then because I love her cat. I mean, it's fun. I love it because her cat doesn't have that teeth anymore. So I aggravate it, and then I let him bite me. It's like, bite me, bite me. And then Lauren's like, what are you doing? So anyway, so it was fun. It's like, I can't wait to hang out with her. She's a great roommate. Great roommate. So
I
yeah,
didn't know you guys were roommates for a while. That I didn't know that. That's great.
I know. It was cool. Oh, and then it was a really, where she lived, where her apartment is very cool because it's just the first stop after the when you cross the bridge, and it was like, it's really cool. So I can't wait, and hopefully, like when that time comes, let's plan a trip and plan a trip when you're free, and
Yes.
we'll get together, and then I was thinking, and Lauren, you'll love this too. It's like I'm thinking, we should do it when everyone is coming, and then we could actually like get a room, like a suite for a night to actually just like shelter party. I think it's a good idea. I'm just saying.
So
So I can't wait. So anyway, anyway, we have come to that point where we're almost ending our show because since I do this every day now, I
yeah.
can't have it more than an hour and stuff like that. But I'm trying to see like what else are I'm trying to see like good memories we had. Oh yeah, we did not talk about gossiping, by the way.
Oh, gossip.
The gossip. So
Let's have the tea.
okay, so did you go to Caro's, or no, not Caro's, it is Caro's. You did go to Caro's a lot too, right? With Claire and Tina after shows and stuff like that. That was
Yeah.
like our Max's in Saved by the Bell. We always go there like late at night, you know, or McDonald's, but no, that doesn't really. So who did you keep? Lastly, who did you keep in touch with right now? Who do you keep in touch with right
Oh
now
God,
in California? That kind of you see.
I'm bad at
You're
keeping
like
in touch with
zero.
people. Honest, not entirely zero, because I like to look at Facebook periodically to take a look at, oh wow, that's what Lauren's doing. Oh wow, look what Babe's doing. I think she's still in Chicago. Correct me if I'm
No,
wrong. No, no.
not, no. She's no, she's back in California. I think like Lauren will actually type in about 8 seconds. She will type in where Maeve is live because she does travel. When she was in Chicago, she traveled so much. That's why I wasn't able to always get in touch with her, and I was traveling too. So, and we're talking about like, and one of the things too is talk about keeping in touch with people. When I sang in Dallas Opera for for a new what is that Jake Heggie opera named called Great Scott. That was the time when Summer, maybe it's in Santa Monica. There it is. So I think there you go. So Summer lived in Dallas, and Summer loved it in Dallas. No, no, not Dallas, Austin. Austin. She lived in Austin. And trust me, quote me on this. Summer loved it in Austin. Um, but she actually drove from Austin to Dallas to see the opera. I
That's
mean,
great.
these are these are like the things that it's like, oh my God, this is when you know. I mean, that was back in 2015 or one of those, and I'm thinking these are people from the 90s, and it's kind of like who would do that? And they actually drove, and it's like they take the time when they know you're there, they will take the time to really support you.
One
So
one quick thing about Summer is she's a very supportive friend. She shows up. I had something at the duplex one night, and she showed up with a friend, and like a same thing. I was like, "You're here to support me."
does that. They do that. That they do that.
Summer loving. Had
Summer
us.
Lion. I don't know why I put it there. It's supposed to be on the banners. Oh my God, I'm getting confused with these things. So,
Hey.
anyway, so what did you do? Lastly, what did you do on your birthday today? Yeah.
Well, I got like you, like ourselves. I've gotten used to having my birthday near or on Thanksgiving or day. Uh, Most of the time it's spent with my family. Most of the time I'm here in Los Angeles. There's only been a couple times where I've been in Pennsylvania, or one time I was doing a Christmas Carol in Delaware. Oh, just a few times where I've been away from my family. So it just seems like it's second nature for me to celebrate with my family. And like everyone else nowadays, it's been intimate, quiet Thanksgiving dinner. So it's nice.
No, that's good. So what are you, it's like any I know it's pandemic, so everyone's like staying at home. Do you just watch TV, or do you like for as a gift, by the way, as one of my birthday gifts, Steven got me, because I have a Switch. Steven got me that Pro controller for a Switch. So, and also the Mario Kart game.
Oh, it's on.
So we have the Mario Kart in Wii, but
Mhm.
I'll be like, I'll be probably be playing that. I am working for people. People already know this, but I am working at 7-Eleven as a sales associate, about 30 hours a week. So it's
I
it's
didn't know that.
I'm working there because not necessarily like, oh my God, I need to make money. No, because I need human interaction. And there's usually, if you've ever, people have ever been to the current 7-Eleven right now, anywhere you go, there's always a shield in front, and people are wearing masks. So we have double protection. And it is 6 feet or more away from the customers, even when we ring them. But right now, so outside of that, I mean, that's why I started doing this, because I have 3 to 11 shifts. I get home around 12:30, and I'm still like, I always sleep around 2:30 or 3. And I'm thinking, why not do something late at night? And I tell this to all of you guys. And I know I'm not going to have a lot of viewers. Like, the most viewers I have yesterday was 10, but it's fine. It's the beginning of everything. And yeah, so I'm so glad that it's only 11 p.m. in California, because it's 1 a.m. here in the 2 a.m. So if I have Eastern people come on the show, by the time it finishes, it's almost 3 a.m. But, you know,
I was looking forward to it all day. It's like, I'm going to be on a late night show with somebody I haven't seen forever.
and by the way, we are going to have, starting next year, once I have everyone like scheduled, we are going to have multiple guests so we can have like a conversation. Kind of like watch what happens live. I'm not going to coin that. I'm just mentioning it. Watch what happens live, where I'm going to have like 2 or 3 or 4, like put them all together, and then, kind of do that kind of a format. Because I want like a conversation, like I'm going to have Lauren and then you, and then hopefully, Summer, that kind of thing. Oh, probably not Summer because she sleeps early. She's in East Coast time right now. So anyway, first of all, thank you. I mean, last of all, thank you for coming to our show today, because, we're birthday twins.
Of course.
And let me see here, because I'm not, we really need this, So before I end this show, I just want to remind everyone, tomorrow's guest is Michael Waring. Michael Waring I went to school with him in UCLA, and he actually was presided in our wedding back in 2014.
Yay.
At my wedding and my teacher's wedding, like about, what is that? A year before? Is it a year before? No, about a few years before.
Congratulations, by the way. Congratulations.
Thank you. And hopefully we will have everyone back. And do you have any random nonsense message to our viewers before you sign off?
Thank you for watching. Thank you for inviting me. This was fun. I miss the times that we're in right now. I need to be doing more of this, connecting with my friends, connecting with my fellow artists. I really hope we can get back to normal sometime soon, and I feel like ramen with RoRo after midnight is the only way it's going to happen.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I'm gonna put you in the back burner, so don't go away yet. Okay. Thank you, Anthony Gomez, AG, Attorney General. Thank you, Anthony Gomez. And you are definitely not wait, how do you do this? You're definitely not a me.
Okay.
You are in the
Thank you,
Yeah.
Queen.
Thank you. Yes, Queen. Yes. So I'll put you on a back burner. Say goodbye.
Bye, everybody. Thank you for watching.
Thank you. And don't go yet.
I'll be here.
So anyway, that is our guest. And tomorrow we will go. Like I said, our guest tomorrow is going to be Michael Waring. And please remember, it is still the pandemic, and there's a lot of lockdowns going on in every state and city. So please don't forget to wear a mask and social distance. And like what Anthony said about the binge watching, binge it, The Crown. We'll always have this binge it in the end of the show. And this is a shameless plug. I don't need it, but it's nice when it helps with the maintenance. Okay. So thank you so much for coming to our show. And we look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Same time. It's 1 a.m. Central. 1 a.m. Central, 2 a.m. Eastern, and 11 p.m. Pacific. Thank you very much, and have a good day.